Welcome everybody. I'm Paul Shapiro, President of Boca Rio. We are extremely excited to have this group here today. We have representatives of Octagon, the marketing company that is going to put on the tournament. We have Andy Lasky from the LPGA, who is sitting to my left. And then two superstar golfers from this area, Lexi Thompson and our own Morgan Pressel. And Rick Harlow to my right, who is a legend, I think, in his own mind, and he's an old friend of mine, I can say that.
Finish up the dais. Well, Dan Towers is the CEO of Group 1001 in Gainbridge. Just to put this in perspective, in 1950, which was 70 years ago, amateur Polly Riley won the Tampa Open, which was the first LPGA event in Florida 70 years ago. First prize? Yeah, $3,500. We've come a long way. And the LPGA, as part of this partnership, is entering in its 70th season, with over 30 tournaments and $67 million in prize money, so they're clearly doing their part. South Florida golf is a $10 billion industry. The National Golf Foundation suggests that there are 1,100 public and private courses. When I started doing work down here in the leather helmet days many, many years ago, there were 3 isolated counties. I-95 and the Turnpike did not go from Miami to West Palm Beach, seriously. And now we are linked by sports and economic development, and we're finding with this and other events that the region will look to the north part of the county for golf and then head south, which is one of the side benefits of this event and will be very compelling for all of us. First, I'd like to introduce you to friend, mentor, somebody who has incredible charitable, philanthropic, and entrepreneurial orientation, the CEO of Group 1001, but also Group of Gainbridge, who is the title sponsor of this event, Dan Towers.
I think empowerment is a key theme with our organization, and so we see our corporate social responsibility as just a big part of who we are as an organization, our DNA. And so we look to sports and education as just great opportunities to give back, to make sure that we're integrated with the communities that we're working in, but really all across the country, and just to make sure that we're able to help contribute to the issues that need help these days, to make sure that there's equal opportunity, that everyone has a chance to get in, that they're encouraged to do so, but also that whether it's at a young age or even later in life. I think it's just again about making sure that people have the opportunities to get involved. Yeah, I was introduced probably 4 years ago to the tour and just fell in love with the players, the brand, kind of what they stood for. I love the way you guys interact with sponsors, with fans, and it really was unique and impactful the way I saw it. And so again, thank you for coming here today. Yeah, so Gainbridge is really about putting the power from an investment standpoint into your hands, into the consumer's hands. And then really it's about a bold and steady approach, about being able to take risks but finish well. And a lot of times when you think about what happens in sports, again, you're on the course and strategizing, you take that risk or not, but you really want to make sure that you're able to finish well and and just compete. So we do see a lot of similarities and alignments from that standpoint, but also because when I look at the LPGA, it's not just about yourselves. You're all about giving back to, again, the fans and the communities. Every location you go to, I think, is better off for the tour having been there, and that means a lot to us. And that certainly is a brand and a group of people that we would like to align with.
First of all, thank you all for having us here today. We appreciate it. We couldn't be more honored to be playing here. But I have to start with a few thank yous. Dan, I'm going to start with you. Dan Towers, who has been part of the LPGA family for several years now, and Gainbridge. Quite honestly, we wouldn't be here today if Dan didn't have the vision that he has for this event. So Dan, on behalf of the LPGA family, thank you so much for everything that you do. To my friend Paul, to the entire membership at Boca Rio, you literally opened your doors for the LPGA to come here. We appreciate the enthusiasm, not only at the club, but in the community in general. We felt like we were welcomed with open arms, so thank you so much. We cannot wait to be here in January. And to these ladies to my left, I know we all get to see them play on Golf Channel week in and week out, and they do things inside the ropes that we can only dream about. These are the most elite athletes that you'll ever meet, and you guys are in for a treat when it comes to the competition. But what I can tell you about these two, Morgan and Lexi, is they're even better people off the golf course. Their engagement with fans and the communities in which they play are second to none. I would put these two in a room with anybody around the globe. They are the best ambassadors. They make my job easy. And so thank you guys so much for being here. We are truly golf's global tour. We play 33 times on our schedule. We play in 13 different countries. Think about that. We are broadcast in over 170 countries around the world. So come January 20 through 26 next year, all eyes will be on the Gainbridge LPGA at Boca Rio. So we're thrilled that we're going to be here. You guys are in for such a phenomenal treat with these athletes. 108 of the best female golfers in the world will embark on Boca Rio, and couldn't be more excited to come. I came here about a year ago on a site visit with our friends from Octagon and met with David Friedman and others that were on the board. And literally, as soon as we walked into the doors, we knew this is a place we wanted to bring the LPGA. I mean, you all see this clubhouse. It's unbelievably stunning. There's so much. I wish we had this much room week in and week out. Player dining will be really good here, guys. And then the golf course itself, I mean, it is just stunning. It's going to be a great test for the best players in the world, and some tricky greens out there. So that'll be interesting.
I think this tournament in general will be like a huge event for the LPGA Tour. I've never played here, but just walking into the clubhouse, like you said, it's unbelievable. It's beautiful here, and just of course, it's like it's already in great shape for us. And I've heard from Morgan, it's a great layout. It's pretty difficult. So, but I think just the community and everything will get so behind this event, and it'll be well run and get a great fan base to support us. And I think that's the most important thing for LPGA events: the venue, the fan base. But we wouldn't be able to do it without sponsors like Gainbridge. So we're very grateful for you guys. Morgan and I live right here in Boca. I live in Delray. We're 15 minutes from here. I don't know how I haven't played this golf course yet. It'll be unbelievable to actually be able to sleep in my own bed for a tournament. And like I said, this is such a big golfing community, so I think the support behind this event will be great, and it'll just be an ongoing event for us. I look forward to every event that I get to play in. Just over the years since I turned professional, we've gained so many more events, so many more sponsorships and TV coverage and everything. So it's great to just see the uprising of the LPGA Tour and all the golf programs that we have, getting the kids involved at a young age, and just the growing of the game.
Yeah, well, we've talked this morning already a lot about charitable initiatives, and something that's important to Gainbridge, important to Boca Rio, and important to myself as well. This being a home game for me, this is where my foundation, all the money that we've raised over the years goes back to South Florida. We're very involved here in the community. Mark Larkin with Boca Raton Regional Hospital is here. He's a big partner of our foundation. We have Manovan and a genetic testing center with the hospital, and we also work with Sylvester Cancer Center on drug research programs. So it's really neat to bring all my friends here, even more so. I mean, I have a wonderful group of friends that come to my fundraiser every year, Morgan and Friends, and so it's going to be fun to get even more of my friends to come here to Boca Raton, show them the area, show them where I grew up, show them where I learned how to play golf. So it's a wonderful golf course. I think ever since there were kind of rumors on the LPGA that the tour was going to come to Boca, everybody kept asking me, is this happening? Is this happening? Are we really coming? And once they get here, they're going to see this golf course. It's just fabulous. It's really puts a premium on your second shots, and as Ricky mentioned, it has some tricky greens, so you got to make sure you want to miss it in the right place. And I think most of the players will figure it out quickly if they miss it in the wrong spot. As a young kid, that was really inspiring for me to go watch the best players in the world, and I think that'll be no different here. We're going to have a lot of young fans, especially. We love to grow the game, certainly with the youth, and that'll be a big part of this event. And our crew, the entire tour, they're so fan-friendly and engaging, And that was what I remember as a young kid, and I hope that we're able to add that back to South Florida here with the LPGA.
Paul Shapiro is the president of Boca Rio. He is a world-famous entrepreneur, sports agent, friend of the Phillies, South Florida and Philadelphia maven and icon. What have I left out?
Keep making it up. I've never heard that much in sound almost. I won't repeat that line here.
No, go ahead. Talk a little bit about how you kind of were the shining star, really, of helping put this together, and how you feel now about this.
Okay, well, first of all, the shining stars of putting this together were Morgan and David Friedman in the green shirt at the back of the room. I believe the whole idea for this occurred in a golf cart at Morgan's tournament, and David came to us and said, this is something we really ought to pursue. He's a member of our board, an esteemed member who unfortunately has now taken a position in San Antonio, Texas, and we now get him only part-time, but thank you, David, because the germ started there and he really pushed for this. I should mention, Rick, that Boca Rio, when it was founded, for many, many years, there were offers from various organizations to hold tournaments here, and the membership had no interest in anybody knowing about the course. Nobody knew where it was. It was a great hidden secret. The course was designed by an architect named Robert Von Hage, who was an assistant to the architect who built Pine Tree, and this was the first course that he built by himself. Von Hage was hired by the members that founded the club, a group of older businessmen, and basically his edict was design a course that none of us can play. And he did a great job. This is a very difficult course. It's going to be great for the members to see how the women play this course, because we all have so much trouble with it. It's a very unusual Florida course because it's not defended by water. You'll see water outside, we have lakes, but they are generally not in play. And an average golfer can actually play this course without losing the ball in the water. We do have 104 bunkers, and they are very strategically placed, and a lot of shots end up in those bunkers, so you have to be able to play out of the sand. We have a lot of forced carries, and it's going to take a lot of intelligence for the players that win this tournament. It's going to be great for us to see how it's played by people that really can play the game.
And so, it may have been created in a golf cart with David and working clearly, and this was the right place, but the president of a club has to make some visionary and philosophical decisions, especially a club who's had proposals brought to it for a while and has said no. What's the reason why this tournament was special and you became an advocate? And also talk a little bit about the charitable orientation of Boca Rio and its members, which is something that I think people really ought to know. Okay,
well, I don't think many of you know me. I was an active lawyer in West Palm Beach for many years, although I lived in Boca and involved philanthropically in the community. One of the interesting things about this part of South Florida is that a tremendous number of the residents, particularly the older residents that are in a position to make charitable contributions, become involved in places like the hospital and other local charities, come from up north. They're from Chicago, Boston, Philadelphia, Washington, D.C., Baltimore, etc. And by the time they arrive in Boca Raton, they're entrenched in local charities in northern cities. So one of the things that happened here through the 80s when I was very active as a lawyer was that you had people who were extremely philanthropic, but their philanthropy was up north. And it was very hard to get money for local charities down here. We have a membership that reflects that. We now have more and more younger members who are here year-round. We have a lot of extremely philanthropic older members who, again, whose main giving was up north. Though they are also very generous in the Boca Raton, Palm Beach County area. Several years ago, our club decided that as a as a participant in the community, we should do something as a club that focused on many of the local needs, particularly from smaller groups that are doing great work with children, with people in need, and so forth. And so we created a foundation that is funded by our members with voluntary contributions. We have a foundation board that is extremely active. We received grant proposals from probably last year something in the order of 75 different organizations, and we made grants to 37 of them. And each one is hopefully something that will make a difference. They're not gigantic. In totality, it's a very substantial sum, but each gift is not necessarily huge, but they are the types of organizations that are not getting much help elsewhere. And these donations make a difference. So anything that is connected with raising money for local organizations is something that is of interest to this club, to our people.
Dan, just kind of in closing, we've seen the numbers that the golf industry generally raises nearly $4 billion annually for charity. A lot of it is because it's easy to do in the context of pro-ams and players interacting with business leaders, but a lot of it is because the culture of the game and people involved in it to want to give back. Remember your face when you realized what the Boca Rio kind of requirements and mandate is to be philanthropic and charitable. Same as yours. So talk about that synergy and compatibility for me.
Yeah, absolutely. What Boca Rio stands for, the membership, the way that they, give back, I think made that just a perfect choice in terms of what we wanted. I think as we look at this whole event, really want to start with working with our partners at Octagon to create a premier golf event in South Florida. But what I hope we're known for at the end of the day is for the charitable impact, the philanthropic impact that we have in working with many of the folks of you that are in this room today and giving back through local charities, but in a way that's significant and meaningful, and not just some kind of gratuitous, something that every event needs to have, some charitable component, but that it's a significant piece. And I think that aligns with the membership at Boca Rio. We're excited about that, and I'm looking forward to the challenge, really maximizing that opportunity with a great event in a great location with a great club, and ultimately will be judged by the impact that we can create in that way.
Let me finally conclude by telling you, in 50 years in South Florida, it's hard to bring events that you know are going to work. I can name 4 professional sports franchises and a few golf tournaments, but I can also name 90 failures where you don't have political, civic, business, journalistic, and corporate support. This has all of that and more, beginning Super Bowl week in South Florida, where the eyes of South Florida will be on this in any event, and will then have the ability to take this to the next level. So incredibly excited about working with all of you to make this event the best it can be. And thank you all very much for being here. Thank you.